What's up, everyone, and thanks for joining me. So today is the day we're gonna paint the frame. So yesterday, Chris and I worked really hard on getting this thing sandblasted and prepped and ready, and we just ran out of time. So today we're getting it painted. So I'll give you one more look at it. The last look of it like this. And it looks really good. So now I need to wipe it down. So I just have some mineral spirits to get all of the remaining dust and stuff off of it. Just going to use mineral spirits and a microfiber cloth to wipe the whole thing down, and then we'll be ready to start painting. So what I'm going to do is try to flip it over to start and paint the inside of these rails, because I just want to be able to get the inside and then like under here and stuff first. That'll be easier, and then I can flip it back over and like get to the inside of this, and then I'll flip it back over to this and do top and sides and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting this done. It's gonna be wow. Just got to take a picture of it right now. It's gonna be a game changer. All right, I'm gonna get started wiping it down. We'll see you. All right, we're ready to paint. So I got this thing flipped over, and I did end up just cutting the chains off the front here. They were crappy anyways. We'll do something else about that. But now we're ready to paint. So I'm gonna get my paint ready, throw on a time lapse, and we'll get this thing knocked out. battery died in the camera, so I'm not exactly sure how much I got on time lapse. But here we go, check it out. I think it looks fantastic. So good. So the can says that you can't do 2 coats on it. So what I'll probably do is just take a little bit, let this dry, and see what the finish is like, and then apply a second coat if I think it's necessary. But this looks, I mean, this looks good. It looks really good. Now, you know, we're actually making progress, you can tell. Because before, you know, you take the body parts off, you start cutting stuff off the frame, and, you know, all that cutting, it doesn't look like much is happening. But now we are at a major milestone point in this, having this frame painted. So this is UV sensitive paint, so after a while it will kind of get cloudy. So I will be putting a top coat on it, and I'm going to do that after this dries, but it'll be in this video. So I'm going to let this dry, see if it needs another coat, and if so, then I'll put another coat on it, but I'll catch back up with you then. Now it has been a few days since we brushed on this paint, so let that dry. And really the weather's been terrible the last few days, so I hadn't been able to spray it. It's been raining, but now we got a nice day, sunshiny, good weather. So what I'm going to do is, since it's been sitting, we got some bird crap and other stuff on it. So I'm going to hit this with some 320 grit sandpaper to scuff it up, and then I'll wipe it down with some mineral spirits again, and then get the paint ready to spray. So what I'm going to do, I'm only going to hit the spray on like the top and sides of this. There's no need to go under. The bottom of it's never going to be seen. It's never going to be in sunlight, so there'll be no issue with that. That paint will be just fine. And then what I've also done is I moved the jack stands, so after I spray it, I'll take and paint the underside of these where the jack stands were originally sitting, because that hadn't been painted yet. But we're looking good. I am really happy with how this turned out. It's so smooth, really smooth, good finish, good coverage, and then this top coat should be really nice. So I'm going to get to work on that. I can't wait to see what it's like when this top coat's finished. Now that we have the trailer wiped down, we're ready to mix some paint. So this top coat can be thinned up to 5% with a xylene. So I'm going to shoot for about 3% just to be in the middle. And I'm not sure how thick this is, but I'm just going to thin it a little bit just to be safe. So I'm going to fill this up to about 16 ounces. And then use half an ounce of xylene in the measuring cup. So that'll give it about 3%. 3% thin, but it's a nice black right there. Alright, I'm shooting for 16 ounces on this pour, which is 1 pint. That's actually probably way too much. Now I'm looking at it. I stopped at 12. All right, now let me do some quick math here. So 12 ounces times 0.03 is about 1/3 of an ounce. So we can shoot for that. And 12 times 0.05 is 1/2 an ounce. So anything below 1/2 an ounce, we should be fine with this. With this stuff, you're supposed to, after you spray the first coat, you're supposed to apply 2 coats. And the second coat needs to be applied within 2 to 72 hours. So that's probably good. So I'm going to hit around that 2-hour mark. So let's pour it in and stir it. That looks pretty good. And this is my second time ever using a spray gun. The first time was on a toolbox that I redid that I found actually in the trailer when I pulled it out. So that was my first time. That turned out really well. So I'm looking to do the same here. And it says to use between 25 and 30 pounds of pressure in the gun. So I'm shooting for around there. Probably am a little over 25. But we'll give it our best shot. All right, there we go. Now let's head out. So actually, before I go out, I'm going to wipe the trailer down with a tack cloth just to get any remaining particles or anything that's fell on it since I've wiped it down on there. And then I'll get the fan right on the gun, and then we'll start. Whew. All right, we got the first coat done. Now, I know I didn't spray it in the right order, and You know, it's my second time ever painting with a gun, so I know probably didn't do it in the right order. Probably didn't do it right, but you know, that's okay. I'm learning through this, trying to figure out, you know, the best way for me to get this done. But it looks really good. So we'll be putting one more coat on it. So that'll help smooth it out some. But I think it looks pretty good so far. Looks pretty good. I mean, look at that shine. Looks good. So, all right. Now I'm going to clean the gun. So I'm going to get that clean. And then I'm going to paint under here, at the bottom where the jack stands were sitting back here and in the front. So I'll catch you back up when I put on coat number 2. Alrighty, final coat is down. So this one went down really nice. I know it's probably pretty hard to see, but definitely better than the first one. But now I just need to clean the gun up and then let this dry. But it turned out really nice. Really nice. I'm really happy with it, and man, it's just shining. Of course, it's still a little bit wet, but it's a gloss finish, so it'll be something like this when it's dried. So what I will do is just got to let it dry now, and then we'll pick it back up, show you the final paint tomorrow when it's dry. Now the paint has had time to dry. Let's take a final look. It looks fantastic. Just look at that gloss finish. I mean, it's perfect. For me, I think it's great. I love it. It turned out so good. So nice. I mean, it's just completely transformed the look of the trailer so far. And like I mentioned before, this is just such a huge milestone in this build. you know, really cements that we're making progress. Really cements that we're making progress. And, you know, because now you can finally see it. It just looks so good. And it'll be protected. So that is, you know, another major part. This frame should now last for many, many, many years to come. Shouldn't have any problem with rust. I mean, this thing, it is completely covered 100%, well, 98% with this paint. The only thing that's not covered is the hole. You know, there's a hole back in there that we can't reach. But that's not going to be seeing too much stuff. So, I mean, other than that, this thing is completely covered in this paint. Should be free of rust for a long time. And, you know, it just looks fantastic. So, it's going to be it for this one. Let me know in the comments what you think of the look of the trailer, what you think of this paint, and how excited you are for us to get moving along and to reach this point. So the body parts, it won't be long before we get to those. The next thing we have to do on this is try to get it off of these jack stands and get the axle and springs back under it. So there are a few things that we need to do for that to get that set up and ready to roll, which we'll be working on those in the next one. So thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Later.